guys, I would like to tell you all a scary story. Now, a little background information. I hated being home alone, and I was also 10 at the time. My dad and my mom had to take my sister to a basketball game, and there was no more seats left. So, being a child, I hated this idea. And mind you, I was 10, so I didn't really like to be left home alone. And if I was, I would just cry. So the moment they left, I cried, but then eventually I went to go play on my laptop. I realized that someone was knocking on the door. I didn't think much of it, and I thought it was just in my head, but then the knocking turned to pounding. And I was starting to get a little bit scared. And then the pounding turned to banging. That's the moment I was starting to get really freaked out. I didn't know who this was, and why would they have guests over if it was only me at the house? I didn't understand why there was this random person knocking at the door, and I looked through the people. I saw a scruffy old man standing there, looked like my dad's old colleague that recently died. The man kept knocking and knocking, but I didn't let him in. But the man looked almost transparent, like he was a ghost or something, and I was like, haha, nice prank, go away. But I only said that in my mind because I didn't know if this was a prank. The man became very antsy and reluctantly kept pounding on the door. I looked through the people, and all of a sudden I got this urge to open the curtains. But reluctantly, I opened them. But that was a bad idea because that just alerted the man that I was there. Then he ran over to the window. I could see him talking. I heard a muffled, "Let me in, let me in, let me in." I said, who are you?" He responded with, "I'm one of your mom's friends. You can let me in." I didn't believe him because I didn't really feel like dying that day, so I closed the curtains back up, locked the windows and the doors. I didn't know what to do after that. I mean, of course the doors were already locked, but the windows weren't. I didn't know what to do after that. I just sat there in silence in the living room. I wanted to go up and grab my phone, but it was completely dead. I didn't know where my tablet was, so I couldn't call them on there. And I can't call the police on my computer. I was stuck. But then I remembered the emergency phone in the basement. I hated going down there home alone, but I had to go down there to get the emergency phone. I quickly grabbed it and ran upstairs, shut the door quietly so he wouldn't know I was still there. I mean, obviously he already knew I was in the house, but I didn't want to let him know twice. So I called the police, or I tried to, but that battery was dead. What a coincidence! Everything was dead. And I couldn't call the cops on my computer. My phone was dead. Couldn't find my tablet. The emergency phone was dead. What is a girl to do in this situation? Cry. I cried. I was breaking down in tears when I heard the police sirens. There were no cop cars anywhere, though. The man immediately ran away, as if he heard them too. Then my neighbors came out as if they heard it. They all came and checked up on me. "Are you okay?" they asked. "Yeah, but there was this random scruffy dude knocking at my door." They asked, "Did you speak to him?" I said, "Well, yeah. He was asking to be let in." "Did you let him inside?" "No," I responded. Did you inform him anything about your parents?" I responded no again, and they said, "Well, then your family should be fine." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "That man was actually dead and was knocking on our door to learn information about our family so he could come and kill us." And I said, "Well, how could he be dead and be able to kill us?" Then she told me this urban legend. If you want to hear the urban legend, you'll have to go to the next video. But I was in complete shock. I googled him on my laptop, and it turns out he was dead. The urban legend will be in the next video, but what my neighbor said scared me so bad, and when my parents got home, I told them all about what happened, about the knocking, about the scruffy old man, about the neighbors, about the cop sirens. But there was still no cop sirens there. The bang, I still sometimes hear the banging when I'm home alone, and I've never liked to be home alone since. And if I am left home alone, I remind my parents about the scruffy old man, and we always make sure to charge the emergency phone now, because who knows what would have happened if I let that man in, or if I gave him any information about my parents. I always wondered what would happen if my neighbor didn't come out to check on me. That was my scary story. I will tell you all the urban legend in the next story. The urban legend about that man that my neighbor told me. I was very scared. Alright, bye-bye guys.